Alright, let me go. I'm gonna watch this video just showing me the trip.
Yeah.
Himari and Bear. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to do that when no one's watching, you know.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that all the pieces don't fall off.
Yeah. It's all the tiles in the top row and 4 of the tiles on the bottom row.
Ah. Welcome back, y'all. To Let's Play Mahjong. I mean, let's how to cheat with Mahjong. Here's my co-cheater, Mahjong host, Griffin. Griffin, what do you think about the wonderful game of Mahjong?
I stopped watching Keiichi at season 3 because that's when they started playing Mahjong.
What about Yakuza?
What about Yakuza?
There's the Mahjong minigames.
Oh, I never played those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I don't want to think about Mahjong for the rest of the night. Let's go.
Alright, cool.
I understand now. Show don't tell. I don't care if it's a visual novel. You fucking like make CGs. I don't know. Where the fuck are we? You can see everything, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
We're all staring.
Yeah.
Oh, well, punchy, punchy,
Okay.
punch. Oh, oh no, oh no, they're losing. The aliens are taking over. Rena, why are you wearing that? Why do you have a bulge? Why am I going to heaven? It was a very humid day and a very confusing one. I have a slight breeze was blowing. Had a very unpleasant summer one that only wasn't hot but sweltering so. Why are we outside? Various articles clothing hung to our dry, messy apartment windows. The lack of wind evoked an impression far removed from coolness. In fact, it only felt more impressive. Oppressive, not impressive. There were crooked houses and apartments living in the narrow, twisting road. In addition, there were planters and flower pots whose contents were beginning to rot, as well as bicycles and cars on the side of the road, making it even more cramped, more oppressive, and more sweltering. I hate everything about this description so far. Nobody who was in this place in time was visiting voluntarily. In spite of what everyone might expect, a single motorcycle came rolling in. The motorcycle stopped in front of a two-story apartment, one that could be called neat even as a flattery. A man, fairly old, wrinkled, stepped off. A nearby neighbor hanging out the laundry noticed him. She called out.
ほんで、こんにちは。今日もお暑いこって。
ちゃあ暑いね。
Landlord, kill him!
こんな暑いとうだっちまってかなわねえよ。
I'm getting deja vu. Suddenly, I got goosebumps all over my body. Felt like something bad was about to happen. Do you ever get the feeling of something real bad's about to happen? I already fucking used the joke. I can't use it again. In case I get goosebumps. Satoko was supposed to be cooking dinner tonight. We didn't have much inside the refrigerator, so I asked her to go grocery shopping. My first mistake was letting my eyes off of Satoko during the most pivotal moment of my life. It was back in time my cartoon was over, after which she started cooking dinner. But, maybe my cartoon was over, the news had started, and Satoko wasn't home yet. Satoko sometimes waited until they had a sale at the store. In that case, she usually come home late. That must be what's happening. It's too early for me to start worrying about her. You should start worrying. But, can't explain this feeling.
Or support.
Explain it, but I feel extremely worried, like someone's messed with the natural order. Something like that, I just couldn't sit in the room and wait for her.
羽生羽生いる
Hmm?
Especially what would like Satoko be? I was napping, what? But she's never around when I need her. I'm scaring the shit out of Keiichi. Honey's not with me 24 hours a day. Sometimes she falls asleep and sometimes she goes out for walks. Though her case, it's not a walk, more like a stalk. She follows people around when she finds someone interesting. She enjoys observing them. Anyway, I had no choice. I had to find Satoko on my own. Without my helpful ghost friend. Good idea where Satoko goes to. I should check those first. Besides, it's Hinamizawa. Like, how hard could it be?
あれ、リカちゃまでねですかい。
Where's my
あ
wife?
りがたや、ありがたや。
ニパ
Almost always.
ー、それより今
I
日、
miss my wife,
サト
Keiichi.
コが買い物に来
I
な
miss
か
my
ったで
wife
す
on
か
you. I
さ
miss
と
her a
こ
lot.
ちゃん
I'll
の
be
顔は
back.
見てないね。私がずっとお店番してたから、来れば見てるんだけどね。
I didn't even have time to say thanks. I ran to the next store. People were greeting me and waving at me. I usually smile and greet them back. But I had no time for that in this moment. There is no time! Satoko, Satoko, Satoko! I need Satoko in my life. I was able to survive so long because of her support. Without her, this world would be empty and boring. Satoko is nonchalant and optimistic, unlike me. Learned so many things from her over the past 100 years. But I still need to learn more from her.
サトコ、サトコ
People stared at me as I ran by them, screaming out her name. I didn't care what they thought, though. Griffin is playing Tiny Glade. Why are they looking at me like that? I'm looking for Satoko. Somebody tell me where she is! Are you Satoko? No. Are you? My heart was convulsing inside my body like a fish out of the water. What little stamina I have, I hate my body for being so young.
角のお惣菜屋さんが夕方に売れ残りを安くするでしょう。そこに行ってるかもね。
I went to a few different places, but I still couldn't find her anywhere. People I talked to gave me advice where to go, but I couldn't find her in any places they suggested. Continued to run looking for her. Continued to run even when I bumped into people.
さあどうだろう。夕方は人がたくさん来るから覚えちゃいないかもしらん。
There are only a few places in Himizawa where we can go grocery shopping. Shouldn't be that difficult to find her, so why couldn't I? Wow. I tripped on something in the street. And fell flat on the ground. Wah wah. I tripped my hand on my small walk and embedded in the ground. Ugh. Didn't feel much pain even though I said ouch. It just felt hot as I touched the frying pan. Suddenly someone handed me a pretty handkerchief.
大丈夫
Oh, thank God,
怪我
Rena.
とかしなかったかな。レナ、サトコを見なかったですか？
I was carrying a grocery bag. Rena Satoko bumps into Rena often when she goes grocery shopping. They tend to choose the same stores.
サトコちゃんを？今日は見てないよ。
Don't
サ
start
ト
doing
コ
it.
ちゃんがお買い物の日だったの？そうです。会っていませんですか？わからないな。今日がサトコちゃんのお買い物の日なら絶対にスーパーひなみざわの特売日を逃さないと思うもん。でもレナもスーパーにいたけど会わなかったし。
Rena wasn't getting enough oxygen. It took me a while to understand what Rena was talking about. I understood that Rena didn't see Satoko. But that wasn't the point. They had a huge sale on the market today. There's no way that Satoko would miss that sale. But she still didn't see her there? What was that supposed to mean?
何かあったの？サトコちゃん、お財布とか家の鍵でも忘れちゃったかな？
I couldn't find the right words to explain. Should I tell her I feared that something bad happened to Satoko and that's why I was looking for her? No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't think too deeply why she hadn't returned home.
どうしたの？
Talk to
困ってるなら
your
力になる
friends.
よ。
Talk to your
話して。
friends. Yes, talk to me. Knew she was trying to help me. I thought I needed someone to help me just a few moments before. But now that she was here, I had no idea what I was supposed to say. No, that's not it. truth is, I know. Somehow I know. I wouldn't have to know if someone else. But I have to know this. Frederica has to know what's going on. I know it. I remember it. I knew this was coming. I experienced a world before where Satoko suddenly disappeared. But the possibility of that happening as low as Akasaka showing up in Himezawa, it only happened randomly in my other lives. This is not the first time. Happened before too. Should see it for myself. I need to see if I'd gotten stuck inside a devastating world again.
力になるから話して。ごめんなさいです。さよなら。
That's a mistake.
リカちゃん。
Rena, follow her, please. Instead of running. Can pretend like I didn't know where she was. Please don't tell me I was blessed only up until this point and I'm about to fall back into my unfortunate fate from here on. I thought this world was different. I thought I could move to a happy future.
Oh, black?
No, what?
Shut the fuck up. I stumbled my words, but this was just horrible. Rika's having a breakdown. Don't nitpick my enunciation.
That was an enunciation. That was a complete wrong word.
To stand in front of the place I hate most in Himezawa. Yes. It's Satsuko's real home, the Hojo residence.
Whoa.
Akasaka, can you kill this guy for me? Sure. Oh. That was easy. But once you moved most of her stuff to my house, Satoko stayed away from this place. That was a sad place for Satoko. All she could remember was the horrible time she spent with her uncle and aunt, the memory of her missing brother, Satoshi. That's why she never wanted to come back here. That wasn't the reason I hate the house. Because I know what happens whenever this house becomes an issue in my life. Oh God, please. Please bless me with just one more fortune. I closed my eyes and prayed, then I slowly opened them.
On the sheet.
The window was open on the second floor. Saw a faded curtain swinging inside. As soon as I saw that, my knees realized what was going on, before my mind processed it. Next moment, I lost strength with my legs, collapsed on the ground. Saw an unfamiliar motorcycle parked by the house. I also saw laundry and a futon hanging outside. Was certain that someone was living here.
This last cup.
Proof that someone was living inside this house. Hey, maybe it's Satoshi. Maybe he came back. Maybe it's something good. You don't know that. Let's not. Remember Rika? We can't stop winning. Oh. No.
Rika?
No, she's dead inside.
Satoko!
Satoko went outside to take the futon and noticed me.
No.
Rika?
Satoko looked down and forced herself to smile. I felt so sad. Was it just her expression? Could tell that her left cheek was red and swollen.
Satoko, こんなとこにいないで、お家へ帰りましょうです。
I took her hand, but she still looked down without squeezing back.
リカ、私、今日からこっちの家で暮らそうと思いますの。どうしてなのですか？私のおじさんが帰ってきましたの。それで、こっちの家で一緒に暮らそうって話に。
I circled and pinned Satoko last episode,
そんなの望ん
remember?
でないはずなのです。意地悪なおじさんなんかと一緒に住んで楽しいはずがない
No,
ので
last
す。
episode was going to like, okay, whose emotional trauma we all solved? And I went through everyone
リカの
but
家へ帰って
Satoko.
連れ
They
戻
put
さ
a
れる
pin
だ
on
けで
it
すもん。
because she hasn't overcome
リカ
her
に迷惑
trauma
がか
yet.
かってしまいますわ。
I'm
Yeah,
like,
the one big trauma that is mostly external for her. Yeah.
well, Rika, you need to do something about it. You just
Do something about it.
talk to people. Get Akasaka's here. I was like, Akasaka, go. Yes, Lady Rika. He just becomes a battle dog. Wait, all just one slap to the face. Broken soul can recover over time, but her damaged heart can never be fixed completely.
You can't change the lid of doors.
Chill the broken pieces and put them back together. The cracks in her heart will always be there.
This is nice.
That's why she wouldn't come with me, no matter how hard I tried to pull her hand. She couldn't get over the fear. She just knew how scary her uncle could be.
Satoko!
Get ducks.
なんねほったらかんどこ行きよんね
I heard a disgusting voice from inside the house. Satoko stared at the ground. Her shoulders were shaking.
なあなんじゃよ踊れは
Came out and stood right behind her.
なんでもありませんの。お友達と会っただけですのよ。
Satoko, you have to overcome this.
したらんどうでもええんね
This is the last
俺か風
miracle
呂
we
け
need.
磨かんかい風呂
You've
け
got it.
わしは風呂に入りたいしちゃったなこら
Satoko scampered back inside the house like a terrified small animal. Maybe if Rika, maybe if Rika is hurt by Tepe, that will
す
get
まんの
Satoko to kick into
それとさと
overdrive.
こは家の片付けで忙しいんやわしはさ
Because
と
I
この
think
お
she
じ
would
なん
act
ね
for Rika, not herself.
ちょっと長いこと出張に出とってんようやくひなみ沢に戻ってきたわけなんよ
Well, they might have fixed it.
Liar. He only showed up because his lover went missing. In other words, I once let my hatred out on him.
Yeah, there was
But then he inflicted the anger in equal turn onto Satoko. So I couldn't allow the dark flame burning within my chest to reflect in my eyes. Since I couldn't make myself smile and I couldn't insult him, all I could was give him a short bow and run away from the scene.
Thank God for like quality of life improvements.
なんね泣く子も黙るわしのガンにビビってもうたんかいね
I heard this hideous laugh from behind me. Cried as I ran away. I couldn't stop crying.
Flying sheep.
I thought it was a perfect world up until today. Why was God doing this to me? It was too cruel. But I couldn't give up yet.
God.
I couldn't do anything, but I still had hope for this world. I didn't think the luck I had until yesterday was just a random thing. I have resources, so I went back to my house in a hurry. I need to make a phone call. I didn't know the number because it was my first time calling the place. I looked inside the phone book. If we can do something about this today, I found it easily. I called to that number.
No.
これはどうもフルデさんからお電話をいただけるなんて思いませんでした何かございました
I already knew that she could never say Satoko based on what I've seen in my previous lives. For him, Satoko is only a good way to get to the Sonozaki family. Her uncle is probably her prey in that regard too. Even if I talked to him about the situation, he would do nothing to save her. The only thing he'd tell me would be call the child consultation center.
大石赤坂とお
Yeah,
話ししたいので
get
す
Akasaka on the phone
今すぐですか
right the
赤
fuck
坂
now.
さんですか温泉行ってますよ和倉温泉
Wakura? That's not anywhere near here. I thought he was staying here until Watanagashi.
なんでも温泉宿をやってる親類にご厄介になれるとかだそうでいや羨ましいことです
I mean, Watanagashi is like, what, only a day away? He'll be back soon. Satoko just has to...
石川県ですよ能登半島の
No way. He told me he was staying here up until Watanagashi. I thought he meant staying in Himezawa. But he did actually mean this area or of the country in general. It's a lot
赤
of
坂と
commuting.
連絡は取れませんですか
It's a meaningless question. There's no way I could get him to come here while he's enjoying his trip with his wife. Even if I talk to him on the phone, he'll probably tell me to call the child. He's indebted to you. I think he would drop everything to come if he heard you.
ものすごい高級旅館だって言ってたから多分某有名なあそこだろうな
You've gotta try, Rika. You've got to keep on trying.
まあ最近の宿はガードが硬いから部屋番号も知ってないと繋いでくれませんしね
わかりましたもう電話はいいですでも赤坂は綿流しのお祭りに来るとは言ってませんでしたか
そうですこちらへは能登への行きと帰りに滞在されるんですよだから先日も一泊されてくつろがれた後すぐ立たれましただから綿流しの直前にまたこちらへ戻ってきて滞在されると思いますあなたにお土産を買ってくると言ってましたよ
How terrible. I thought it was too good to be true. I knew it was kind of strange for him to stay in a boring place like this. My luck seemed to be turning. This might not be a surprise, though. Just like I can roll a 6 3 times in a row, I can roll a 1 3 times in a row, too. Happy and unhappy things happen with equal probability.
もしもし、何か伝言があるなら会った時に伝えておきますよ。
Look at the calendar on the wall. I didn't know when he was coming back, but I was certain he wouldn't be here for at least one more week. Thought back to the past to try to remember what happened. That guy will break Satoko apart in 1 week. I couldn't wait that long. I had to give up on seeking help from Akasaka. Well, that's okay. I still have one more option. This gun I had. One more person I could rely on.
いえ、いなければいいのです。ありがとうですよ、大石。ニパー。
Nipa. I hung up my phone after thanking him. Could I make a phone call to the next person? I had to talk to him in person. I put my shoes on and headed to the EDA clinic. Clinic hours were over for the day. There was usually no one here after that. However, since Tomitake was here, they should still be inside the building for a meeting. They had to be there. Opened the front door was a little odd, as I expected. Went around to the back door and rang the bell. The whole clinic is nervous when Tomitake is around. They usually ignore visitors. But I'm special.
どうしましたか？緊急の要件と聞きました。
私まで用とあっては穏やかな話ではなさそうね。
Maybe Takano showed up after I was taken to the visitor's room. For Rika, an emergency is a priority for these two people. The most important person in this village.
ひょっとして例の件ですか？誰かに狙われているという。
あなたの近辺は常時山犬の中でも特に優秀な連中が警護してくれているわ。あなたとあの日した約束をちゃんと守っているわよ。
I know that about that. They saved me right away when we had that confrontation with those 3 delinquents the other day.
いえ、そうではないのです。お願いがあるのです。実は聡子の危機を救ってあげてほしいのです。
聡子ちゃんに何かあったんですか？
Yuri doesn't have that much power alone, even if he wants to save her. But Takano controls the mountain dogs, so she does have that power. In my previous lives, I was never able to get help from mountain dogs because I wasn't on good terms with Takano. But this world is different. I have a better relationship with her in this life, and she even kept the promise she made. I trust her ability completely now.
あの北条哲平さんがですか？なんてことでしょう。
It's mainly Satoko's aunt who was abusing her last year, but he really knows her violent was uncle with her too. I told him that Satoko had gone back to the same condition she was in the previous year.
このままではいつ何があるのかわかりませんです。聡子を助け出すために力を貸してほしいのです。
So Yuri sensed wanted to do something for her, but he didn't know exactly what to do.
こういうのはどうすればいいんでしょう。やはり警察に相談した方がいいでしょうか。
さてどうかしら。現時点では親権者が現れて聡子ちゃんを保護しただけよ。聡子ちゃんが大怪我でもしたというならともかく、そういうわけではないんでしょう。
そんなのは時間の問題なのです。このままでは大変なことになってしまうのです。
I hate to say it, but it's only a matter of time. I knew how she was going to get abused and how she was going to end up. I've seen it in the past. I really wanted to tell them about it, but I couldn't do that. It hasn't happened in this world yet. They just think I was imagining it.
多分こういうのはまず児童相談所に訴えるのが先じゃないかしら。
そういえば以前聡子ちゃんが児童相談所に虚偽の通報をしたなんてことがありましたね。ちゃんと話を聞いてくれるといいのですが。
The answer is no. My friend contacted Congo Constitutional Center several times in the past, but Satoko always refuses their help. She claims that she isn't being abused. That Satoko from 1983 might have asked for their help. But currently she was the Satoko from 1982. For her, living with her uncle reminds her of the time Satoshi was around. She feels like Satoshi would come back if she lived strongly without always relying on her brother. You made the Child Constitution Center was to take the case seriously. It's just too late. I mean, we have Shion on our side now. That's... I mean, Kasai, attack mode. Took a few days for him to tear her heart apart. We had no time to waste. We needed to take action quickly.
さとこちゃん自身が助けを求めてくれないことには助けようがないのが悔しいです。
入江先生の方から警察やお役所に連絡することもできるとは思うけど、そこまでが限界ね。気の毒とは思うけど。違う
のです。違うのです。高野の力で里子を助け出してほしいのです。
Fury and Takano looked shocked and both went quiet. They didn't expect me to seek help from Takano.
それは強硬的な手段に訴えろということですか？
僕はそういうお願いをしに今日ここへ来ていますのです。そうでなければこんな時間に押しかけたりしませんです。
お気持ちはわかります。ですが、
入江、里子を大事に思うならどうか一生のお願いなのです。里子を助けてくださいなのです。里子はあと何日もしないうちに本当にひどいことになってしまいます。それは決まっていることなのです。もうしばらく様子を見てみようでは見殺しにするのと全く同じなのです。入江は去年の里子をもう忘れてしまったのですか？もうそうなっているのです。今この瞬間にも。そしてあと数日で取り返しのつかないことになってしまうのです。
All I could do was stare at him. Believe that Yurei could see the future only I knew. The tragic and awaiting Satoko reflected in my eyes. Yurei stayed silent for too long time to call brief. Someone trying to think of an excuse to avoid the issue when it goes silent that long. He was recalling Satoko's terrible state last year and seriously considered if a plea was as urgent as I made it out to be. Yeah, he really cares about her. That's why I need his help.
どうしようかしらね。
Yurei nodded and looked up. Guess he finally came to a conclusion. Just hope it's a positive one.
高野さん、リカちゃんの頼みを聞いてあげてください。
入江、
去年、里子ちゃんに何の手も差し伸べられなかった無力さに悩んだことがあります。これはその時傍観して手を尽くさなかった私が罪を滅ぼす唯一のチャンスだと思います。
しかしそうはおっしゃいますけれど。
Takano didn't think that Yurei would make that decision. She seemed shocked to hear his response.
当施設の責任者として正式に高野さんにお願いしたいと思います。里子ちゃんをどうか助けてあげてください。
入江先生、助けるという言葉がどういう意味か少し分かりかねます。どうか落ち着いてください。
里子ちゃんは我々にとって欠かすことのできない存在です。これまでもそしてこれからも我々の研究に最大限貢献するでしょう。本件は高野さんの職務に含まれるものとお察しします。
You continue. Takano tried to
所
persuade
長
him.
入江京介としてお願いいたします。高野さん、どうか里子ちゃんを救ってください。
Staring into Takano's eyes together with
高
him.
野も里子と仲良しだったはずです。どうか里子の友人として助けてあげてくださいです。
助けてくださいという言い方がお二人とも実に偽善的ね。里子ちゃんをさらって永遠に監禁するわけじゃないんでしょ。里子ちゃんにこれまでと同じ生活を送らせるために救うのでしょ。それはつまり叔父の方を摘出せよというご命令ですわよね。
卑怯な言い方をすれば要請に対しどう対処するかを決定する権限が高野さんにあります。でもそれが卑怯ならば私が はっきりそれを口にしても構いません。
入江先生、いえ、入江所長、そのご命令を実行すれば私は無論、そして入江所長も責任を問われることになりますが、その覚悟は終わりですか？
I looked at his face. Like me, he has many things to lose. I knew that Takano's words would shake him emotionally. However, Idio was determined.
ええ、構いません。申し開きをする場へ引き出されても、自身の心を裏切るよりはるかにマシです。
左門がどういうものかもご存じないのに、大した虚勢だことで。
高野さんが上手にやってくだされば、東京に知られずに済みます。それで誰もが円満に決着できませんか？
リスクばかりで見返りのない仕事ね。
高野が望むなら、神社の宝物を他にもたくさん見せてあげますです。もう見せるのを意地悪したりしないです。だから今回だけ助けてほしいのです。
The risk she's taking is larger than the reward I'm offering. But that's about the only thing I can offer her. I don't care about the traditions for this shrine as long as I can save my friend from her suffering.
わかりました。これじゃ私が悪者みたいだものね。
She forced a smile and accepted the favor I asked for her.
ありがとう、高野さん。
どういう風に助けるかは一任いただきます。具体的なプランは後でお好みと相談します。
後ではダメです。今でないとダメなのです。
She promised to save Satoko, but she still wasn't motivated for it. It's too late she didn't do something right now. Try to make Takano understand that this is an urgent matter.
そうですね。リカちゃんも、そして私も、今この場でしっかり納得のいく決着がつくことを願っています。こんな時間にせかして申し訳ありませんが、どうかお願いできませんか？
二人とも聡子ちゃんのこととなると目の色が違うんだから。わかりました。少し待たせるかもしれませんがお待ちください。
無理を聞いてくれてありがとう。
いいえいいえ、私の給与査定者の頼みですもの。笑顔でお引き受けいたしますわ。リカちゃんはさっきの約束絶対に忘れないでよ。
きっとなのです。神社に来た時はおまんじゅうとお茶もつけますのです。
Takano smiled silently and left our room. Once we finally heard her surface fade away, the tension in the room dissolved. Yuri offered me something to drink, but I refused. Must have thought everything was taken care of, but I couldn't relax until Satoko was physically returned to me.
入江、聡子ですが、お薬とかは大丈夫なのですか？おじは聡子が逃げ出すと思って家から出さないと思いますから、もうここへ来ることはできないと思います。
幸いなことに先週まとめて針と薬を渡してあります。ですのでしばらくは問題ないでしょう。ただ強い精神負担は薬でも抑えきれません。少しずつ追い詰められ、いつか取り返しのつかないことになるでしょう。
そのいつかというのはほんの数日後の話なのです。
Takano hadn't come back yet. Thought it would be a bad news if she came back too early. Started feeling nervous after she'd taken so long. The other days to say go home because it was getting very late. I couldn't go home and relax, however, until I heard from her everything was taken care of. I waited for her to come back. I need to deal with this tension until then. Over an hour later, Takano finally returned.
お待たせ。
ああ、いかがでしたか？
She's looking for the right words. Got a very bad feeling for reaction alone.
残念だけど簡単にいかなくなったわ。
どうしてですか？
つい最近沖宮で殺人事件があったらしいの。その事件に何らかの関与があると疑って北条哲平を警察がマークしてるらしいわね。
事件？何ですかそれは？
間宮とかいう女が 園崎家の上納金に手を出して見せしめに殺されたとかなんとかで、警察が北条家と園崎家の関係に慎重になったらしいのよ。その女はどうも北条哲平と実婚らしい。綿流しも近いしね。お社様のたたりの5年目をなんとか阻止したい警察が、北条哲平が今年の犠牲者じゃないかとマークして釣り糸を垂らしてるって話みたい。
釣り糸って何なんですか？
北条哲平をマークしてれば、お社様のたたりの真犯人を釣り上げられると睨んでるのよ。
なんてことだ。では
リカちゃん、本当に申し訳ないんだけど、警察のマークが外れるまで山犬には手の出しようがない。
そんな、山犬の方ならもっと困難な任務でもこなせるでしょうに。
それは入念な準備と計画に基づき、しかるべき機を見ての話です。通常は長い監視期間を設け、その上でタイミングを測ります。同等の任務なら半年から1年をかけるところです。今更言うことではありませんが、私たちは決して日の当たるところへ出ることができない存在です。日の元へ出たならば灰になる存在なのです。だからマークされ眩しく照らし出された今の状態では近づくことすらできない。
ではいつならその木だと言うんですか？
最も早くて綿流しの後ね。多分綿流しが終われば警察もマークを解くかもしれない。
But that would be too late. She's saying it after Watanagashi. I don't even know if that was a day or after or a year after. She also said it usually takes at least 6 months to prepare this kind of mission. That's too long. I thought this world was different. But that hope was slipping through my fingers.
ではどうすれば里子ちゃんを救えると言うんですか？
日の当たる世界では日の当たる世界のルールで解決するのが筋かと思います。例えば警察へ相談する、児童相談所に相談する、学校へ相談するのも方法かもしれません。
それは何度もやったけど無駄だっ
Now
た。
she dropped into her real voice. Yuri Takano was surprised. They had never expected me to raise my voice. In fact, I didn't think myself that I would react this way. But I couldn't keep my emotions in check after Sakano suggested all those meaningless solutions.
私はお前たちにずっと協力してきた。何の見返りも求めず、ただただこの身を捧げて協力してきた。それなのにどうして里子の一人だけが救えないというのか。あれだけの力を持ちながらどうして里子を救うことにのみ臆病なのか。何の力にもならない警察や役所、そして利用するだけして何も助けてくれないお前たち。もういい、もういい。私はよくわかった。この世界が袋小路だということがよくわかった。もうお前たちには興味ない。この世界にも未練はない。そうさ、あれだけの幸運に恵まれても結局私はこの運命から逃れられなかった。そうさそうさ、またいつもの運命。お前は山奥で焼かれて死ね。お前は睡眠薬で自ら死ね。そして私は当然のようにまた死のう。どういう殺され方をするのか未だに知らず命を散らそう。ここは運命の袋小路、行き止まり。私は生まれた時から殺されるために生かされている運命の家畜。みんな死ね死ね、みんな死ね。どうせ終わる世界なんだ。消えてしまえ。うわ
Can't put words to my emotions anymore, and I started to cry. So lucky until yesterday. So much hope in my heart, but it all been for nothing. I felt like everything was falling apart. I lived for more than 100 years. I lived longer than any normal human lifetime. I thought I was blessed with good fortune for the first time in my life. This would never happen to me again. I thought a miracle occurred, but everything was shattered. I cried and cursed this world. I needed to give up my life as soon as possible. Satoko will be waiting for me with a smile in the next one. I wanted to go see her. But what would happen to Satoko in this world? Even if I abandoned her. I didn't know. And I didn't care. Satoko, 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 Satoko. I'm a witch who has lived for 100 years. But I still couldn't rid myself of the human emotions in my heart.
A witch?
Who wants to rid the humanity in her heart?
Ooh.
Supposed to make dinner tonight, but I didn't have an appetite anyway, so I figured I should just go to bed. I still have to make lunch for the next day, though. So I might come to school tomorrow. Rinse the rice and hoping I would have to waste the lunch that I was making for the two of us. Satoko, she just needs to ask for help. That's it. That's the problem here. She has to be the one to take that step. That'll be fine, Satoshi. Drop my thought about her. Why was this happening in this world? I thought everything changed when Keiichi gave the doll to Mion. In that world, Mion pretended to be her sister for a week and got closer to Keiichi. But that wasn't happening this time. I thought we were having a good time until the festival. Why did Arena fuck everything up? Huh? That's odd. Wasn't that club activity 2 weeks before Watanagashi? I realized something. The club activity was exactly the same, but happened 1 week earlier in the world that I knew of. It was only 1 week earlier in my previous life. I get it now. I thought I was familiar with this world, but it was actually a different world where events are mixed up. That means, even though Keiichi gave the doll to Mion, that didn't solve everything. I thought I was getting lucky. I was confident everything was going to be okay. Stop making an effort. I knew the possibility that Satoko's uncle was coming back. But I let her go do the grocery shopping. I would have been more careful and kept her home if I knew he was coming back to get her. I should be careful in my next life. But there would be a next time that was so fortunate. I didn't get lucky that often. Even if I locked Satoko inside the closet, it would be over if Rena's father messed up or something, or Keiichi lost his mind. I have to clear up everything that's not within my reach, and I have to make the best effort I can. Without that, I can't overcome the fate of 1983. In this life, I'm able to overcome my deadly fate with Takano's help. But Satoko will not be there in my future. That defeats the whole purpose. My goal is to survive this year while laughing with my best friends. I don't want to sacrifice Satoko in order to survive. I don't want to live in a world without her. I was blessed with all those fortunes, but I still couldn't defeat my destiny. I've ruined everything because I stopped working so hard. I'll never again have a lucky life like this. Lost my first and only chance. I cried and scratched at the floor. I don't know if I should curse my fate or curse myself for not putting enough effort. I realized that Hani was standing in front of me. Hi! I don't know how long she had been there. Hey Hanyo, just staring me down looking pity on her
Like
face.
a bag of Doritos. Like, hey.
Eating those
あん
chips.
たの言いたいことは分かってる。
So, you
だ
gonna
か
do it,
ら
huh?
運命に期待するなと言った。
Where the fuck have you been all day?
期待するななんて酷な話よ。
Can you walk your walls?
あれだけ全てに恵まれた。サイコロを振る前から6が出ると確信できる世界なんて初めてだった。あれだけの勢いがあればきっと打ち破れると信じた。それでもあんたはあのおもちゃ屋の時からずっと言ってたわね。期待しすぎるなと。
I felt something strange at the toy store that day. She realized that the date was only 1 week off and this was not the same old world that I knew. She realized early on I should still be too excited about this life.
僕もリカと一緒にいて短くないのです。だからリカに聞かれると思って先に言いますです。僕にも今日の運命など分かりませんでしたです。ただ僕から助言できるのはただ一つ。この世の運命なんて秋の空より気まぐれで一喜一憂するにも当たらない祭事に過ぎないということなのです。
6 sides on a die. That's the reality of it. It doesn't mean that the 6 is the best number either. I should just take any number that I roll. I shouldn't be disappointed if I roll 1 a few times in a row.
Yeah,
Yes,
when
I
someone's
thought rolling a 6 was the best result you could obtain.
100年ちょいを生きるくらいじゃそこまで悟るなんて難しいわね。
でもリカ、僕も何度か言いましたが、今回の世界は奇跡ではありませんです。我慢強く待てばきっとまた巡ってくる世界なのです。
我慢強く待てばってそれは何十年後何百年後の話なの。もう私たちには力は残っていない。多分再び世界をやり直しても昭和58年の6月より前へは戻れない。それどころか戻れる時間はどんどん短くなっていく。そんな短い日々を再び奇跡が起こるまでずっとずっと繰り返せというの。数年を繰り返す世界ですら狂ってしまいそうになるというのに、たった 1,2 週間の世界を再び奇跡が起こるまで永遠に生き続けろというの。無理よ。無理無理。絶対無理。
I was betting on this world. I'll bet all my coins on this one world. And I lost. I lost all my coins to this fate. I had no more coins left in my heart. These coins are known as hope. I have no coins left to hope for my dream to come true.
リカ。
Laying on the floor as if I collapsed. The floor should have been cold, but I didn't feel anything.
これが希望をすべて打ち砕かれるということね。
I always thought people could survive as long as they had some bread and water. But that's not right. People can't live without hope. People can survive because they believe that something good will happen to them eventually as long as they keep on living. But that's just for normal people who don't know what awaits them in the future. There is no such hope for a witch like me.
もう何もかもがどうでもいい。この世界だけじゃない。これからの世界もすべてどうでもいい。このまま灰になってしまえたら。
リカ、そんなことを言ってはダメなのです。リカ。リカ。
Annie's voice gradually fades away. Slowly lost my senses as I lay down on the kitchen floor and let myself sink into the darkness. Driving body to school, hoping that Satoko might be there. But just as I expected, there was no one sitting in her seat. I felt a little more devastated just seeing it empty. Hey, this Shion, if she comes here and learns that Satoko's being hurt, she can do something, maybe, I don't know. Blood from my heart and I found the worst tears before my tears.
フルデさん、どうしましたか？今日は北条さんはお休みですか？
The whole class was wondering why I came in late today and why Satoko wasn't with me. But even as I felt sympathy from everyone's eyes, I didn't feel any promise from them. No one was here able to save Satoko. No one could save her. Why should I have to keep smiling at all these useless people? The world is finished anyway. But leave matters alone, and in a few days after watching Nagashi Festival, my movie reel will be cut as I'm murdered like usual, and I'll return to the beginning of this month again. I'm still continue on living forever in June of 1983. Trapped here. Every death won't set me free from that prison.
フルデさん、何かあったなら話してください。北条さんは今日はどうしたんですか？風邪でお休みですか？
うるさいな。
The whole class gasped. No one expected Furuta and Rika to talk like that. I made myself say such a blunt statement a few times several past words, but it was always the first time anyone in this world hearing something like that. It must have been very easy for them, and I envied it.
フルデさん。
She was sitting there dumbfounded. I stood up from my seat. Satoko wasn't around, and I didn't want to be locked up inside of this humid place.
帰るわ。
I'm not coming here anymore. Goodbye. Felt like saying something like that. However, I retained a small hope that Satoko might go to school next day, so I kept it to myself. However, Chie wouldn't let me go. She grabbed me by the arm and dragged me to the teacher's office instead. She told me to take a seat on the couch by the principal's office. She had no right to tell me what to do. Just couldn't escape through the open window. So as I didn't have that kind of energy, however, I just sat on the couch as she told me to. I realized that I didn't have the energy to be rebellious. Maybe Satoko felt the same. She lost the energy to rebel, and so she was simply obeying her uncle.
フルデさん、何があったか話してください。先生はきっと力になれますよ。
She spoke to me. I already knew that her words were empty. All she would do was call the child consultation center. She would go to the Hojo residence and pull Satoko out of there. So there was no point in even discussing the topic with her. If she had told her, she wouldn't keep it to herself, and shortly everyone would know that was happening with Satoko. That would only result in chaos. If they called the child consultation center, the staff would go and visit Satoko. Uncle will deny the abuse, and Satoko will also deny it because of the sense of guilt she feels over Satoshi leaving. Shortly after, they'll find out about the false reports Satoko made before. They'll not proceed any further. Her uncle will allow Satoko to go to school for a few days, but his abuse will get worse because she thinks she's the one who called the child consultation center. She'll do horrible things to her, just like her aunt did last year. Calling the CCC because that's a lot of fucking words. She won't have to notify them at all. If we don't report it, then how else is this world supposed to improve? No. Nothing is going to change. There's nothing that can be done once this unfortunate fate overtakes Satoko.
北条さんのおじさんが？それは本当ですか？
I had somehow answered all Chie's questions without noticing. It was nothing would change whether I spoke to her or not. I just told her everything. Because I had no energy to rebel.
だいたい状況は分かりました。大変なことになりましたね。で、そこまで知って、あなたは何ができるの？
She answered right away without faltering or already used to my spiteful tone.
今日夕方に家庭訪問に行ってみます。まずはさとこちゃんに会って事情を聞いてみます。それで問題があるならば児童相談所に相談するって言うんでしょ。さとこは過去に嘘の通報をした記録が残ってると思うからね。虐待の確たる証拠がないと動いてくれないわ。人が殺されるまで捜査をしてくれない警察と全く同じよ。さとこが殺されるまで相談所は動いてなんかくれない。そうすると相談所も学校もこう言うの？いじめの兆候は全くなかった。普段は明るくて全く予見できなかったって誰かが用意してくれたコメントを読み上げるみたいに同じことを言うのよね。本当にバカばっかね。そこはきっと相談所の人が何とかしてくれると思います。私も北条さんの窮状をしっかり訴えます。
You've done the same thing previous lives too. I wasn't denying her passion, but I can say there was a meaning to it. The problem wasn't with Chie. The problem was with them. No matter how hard Chie tried to seek help from the child services, it meant nothing as long as they had biased notions about Satoko.
そんなの虐待の痕跡があるかどうかなんて関係ないじゃないですか。
God! Shion!
Oh, finally. It's like, where the f*** been?
I have never been more relieved to see you in my entire life. They must be listening. Everyone's just... The entire class is just outside in the hallway with the ear against the door. She got so violent sometimes. 4 people in the room for the hallway. Me and Shion, Keiichi, and Rena.
実習だと言ったはずですよ。委員長は皆さんを連れて教室に戻りなさい。そんな場合じゃないです。さとこに何かあったら先生、どう責任を取るつもりなんですか？取れないでしょ。酔ってる場合じゃないです。すぐに行動を起こさなきゃダメです。
お姉のバカとかは虐待のちゃんとした証拠がないとむしろ事態を悪化させかねないとか言ってますけど、そんな証拠が残った後じゃ遅いんです。ミオンはサトコを見殺しにする気？そこまで言ってないよ。さっきも言ったようにサトコには過去に虐待 SOS に嘘の通報電話をした経験があって、それ以来マークされてるんだよ。だからしっかりした証拠がなければ必ず訪問調査だけして様子見ってことになる。それはどういうことか考えなよ。おじの怒りに油を注ぐだけ。サトコを余計追い詰めるだけなんだよ。
くそ、なんだよそれはよ。何かある前に手を施すのが救うってことだろ。サトコに致命的な虐待の痕跡が刻印されるまで放置しろってのか。
みんな落ち着いて。私もしーちゃんやケイイチくんと同じ意見。何かあるまで様子を見ようなんてのは絶対思わない。なら何ができるのかを考えなくちゃ。
何かってなんだ。児童相談所に相談することだろ。絶対に助けてくれるならいいが、様子見になる確率が高いってミオンはそう言ってるわけだろ。
うん、悔しいけど昨年がそうだったように今年もそうなる可能性が極めて高い。しかも今年は昨年に比べたら状況がまだまだ甘いの。去年はサトコが十分に追い詰められている状態だった。でも今回はまだおじに連れ去られて1日しか経ってない。しかもおじは1年間放置していたとはいえ親権を持ってるし。そんな回りくどいことなんか必要ないでしょ。そんな野郎待ち伏せてぶっ殺してやればいい。
しーちゃん、そんなのダメ。サトシくんはそんなのを絶対に喜ばないよ。
じゃあサトコをどうやって助ければいいんです。サトシくんに頼まれた。サトコを頼むって頼まれた。私サトコに何かあったらサトシくんに顔向けできないよ。サトコがいじめ抜かれた後じゃないと手が打てないなんて、そんなの方法じゃない。目の前で現在進行している犯罪はまず通報するの？違うでしょ。止めなきゃ。私たちの手で自ら止めなきゃ。落ち着きなよシオン。おねえ、その先本家の闘士でしょ。本家の力でサトコを助けてよ。できるでしょ。サトコ一人を助けるくらいの力は十分にあるでしょおねえ。分かってるよ。ダム戦争で遺恨が残る北条家には一切関わらないって鬼ババの方針なんでしょ。サトコがどうなろうと見て見ぬふりというのがその先本家の方針なんでしょ。児童相談所に助けられなくてその先家にも助けられないなら私がやるしかないじゃないですか。私はやるよ。サトコを不幸にするやつはぶっ殺してやる。今すぐ殺してやる。この場からサトコの家まで行って刺し殺すのに1500秒もかからないんだから。あんたたちには1500秒で何ができる？何もできないでしょ。私が助ける。私がサトコを助けるの。話してよ話してよ。今から殺しに行くんだから。シオンさん、お静かになさい。物騒なことをこれ以上言うと怒りますよ。
She can go.
This guy has a saver. I just sat on the couch and stared at them vaguely. I had seen the same discussion many times in many different situations. I was tired of listening to it. The only difference was that everything was happening a few days earlier than usual.
リカ、大丈夫。もう何にも期待なんかし
You
ない。
know what? I have an idea. Let's go
期
find
待なんて
Satoshi.
どこにも残ってない。
Gotta be somewhere nearby, right? Ani made a sad expression. Can tell she was sad about her fate or she was taking pity on me. Just as she promised, Kira went to Satsuko's house after school. It had only been a day since Satoko's uncle took her away. wouldn't be able to tell if he had hurt her again already or not. If she didn't have made such a big fuss about it, Chie would have waited a couple days before going to her house. She already knew, however, what happened to Satoko the previous year. She knew that her uncle was abusing her just like her aunt, and that he had neglected to act as a guardian for the whole year. Considering those factors, it might not have been too soon for her to visit the Hojo residence. Satoko hadn't shown up in school that day. No one called the school to explain her absence. That alone was proof that her uncle wasn't taking responsibility as her guardian. She was going to her house to see what was going on with her own eyes. She parked the car in the street and checked the map she brought from the school. It said Hojo residence on the sign in front of the house. She was certain this had to be the place. The window of the second floor was open, and she could see a curtain hanging there. Although she could hear the laughing voices of several older men. No one answered the phone when she called right before leaving the school. She could also hear the clicking noise of mahjong tiles along with their voices. She'd never played mahjong before, but had a plenty good idea what it was the men were talking. They were playing mahjong. There must have been 3 other men inside the house. Quick, Keiichi, you gotta bet Satoko on mahjong. Like the Phantom Menace, and you gotta cheat. She was just a young lady. Rather than to ring the doorbell after hearing the disgusting laughter. But courage drove her forward. She made her decision and rang the doorbell. She heard the bell ring inside the house. The laughing voices continued to echo from the second floor. It seemed as they didn't hear the bell. She rang the bell again. This time laughter stopped for a moment. Someone must have heard the sound. So after they started laughing again. Didn't sound like anyone was coming to get the door. She thought someone heard the bell, but perhaps not. She was sure they were home, of course. She couldn't leave just because no one's answering the door. So, she went to the next step. Arson. She knocked on the door and yelled loudly this time.
Konnichiwa! Hojo-san, いらっしゃいませんか?
Finally, laughter stopped and a man with a scary look on his face opened the door.
なんじゃいね、踊れは。やかましか、とっととうせえ。
She felt intimidated by him, but her heart was filled with teacher's pride and responsibility.
こんにちは。北条さんでいらっしゃいますか? 私。
She couldn't introduce herself. Teppei screamed at her.
やかましか。新聞も牛乳も保険も間に合っとんねん。わしゃ今むっちゃ忙しいんよ。仕事中じゃいねん。
I remember laughing when he told her he was working. She wouldn't give up. She continued to speak.
私、ひなみ沢文庫教諭の千恵と申します。北条聡子さんはいらっしゃいますか?
なあ、なんじゃよ踊れ。なんで踊りに聡子合わせねえならんねん。
今日、北条さんが学校をお休みしましたけれど、連絡がなかったもので、何かあったのかと思いお伺いさせていただきました。
ああ、学校？
はい。聡子ちゃんはいますか? ちょっとお話ししたいことがあるのですが。
ああ、風邪なんね。そうそう。聡子は風邪で熱出してるんですわ。
プリントとかをお渡ししたいので、ちょっとだけお話しすることはできませんか?
ドアホ！踊れ話聞いてなかったんかい。聡子は風邪じゃ。うなっとるね。それを合わせられるかいボケ。
そうですか。明日は登校できそうですか?
知るかいな。そんなもん明日になってみなきゃわからんわ。このクソボケ。
そうですか。わかりました。では、聡子ちゃんによろしくお伝えください。失礼します。
She bowed, but by the time she lifted her head, Teppei was no longer there. She returned to school. Several students emerged from the classroom. They were Keiichi, Mena, Mion, and Shion. Rika was also still inside the classroom, but she won't come outside.
先生、どうでしたか? 聡子のとこに行ってきたんですよね。
皆さんそれが聞きたくて待っていたんですか？
千恵先生、聡子はどうでしたか？無事でしたか？
それが会わせてもらえませんでした。あんた何しに行ったんですか？教師でしょ。ガキの使いじゃないんです。会えませんでした、そうですかで帰ってきちゃ意味ないじゃないですか。やめなよシオン。そんなこともあるだろうって予想できたことだよ。どうせ聡子の顔に青技があるに決まってます。だから合わせられないんです。
Ignore
そ
everything
こは
that you
無理
just
やり
heard.
押しのけても家の中に踏み入るくらいしなきゃダメなんです。
We were
だ
not
か
in the
らもう
chat.
先生なんて信用できないって言いました。本当にごめんなさい。
やめなよしーちゃん。先生はできる範囲の最善を尽くしてくれたよ。
だがこれで本当にはっきりしたな。その聡子のおじってやつが聡子を家に閉じ込めているってのはどうやら間違いないみてえだ。
そんなの確かめる前から分かってます。リカちゃまがそうだって昼間からずっと言ってるじゃないですか。それを確かめるだけに半日費やしたんですよ。それでどうするんですか？どうやって聡子を助けるつもりですか？だから落ち着きなって。それをみんなで考えようよ。シオンが聡子のことを大事だと思うように私たちだって大事に思ってる。決して見殺しになんかしない。私たちにできることを考えようよ。そうですね。私はもう考えて提案しましたよ。私がたった一人で今日中に決着できるものすごくお手軽な方法です。死体を隠すとこだけお姉の力を借りますが。
だからしーちゃん、物騒な話をするのはやめて。しーちゃんは人殺しのことを簡単に考えすぎなの。人を殺せば解決できるなんて考え方はおよそ思いつく考えの中で最低の最低、本当の最低のことなの。
なら他に提案をしてみてくださいよ。私の提案が最低の最低なら私よりほんのちょっぴり上等な程度でいいですから代案を聞かせてください。ほらほら、何も言えないじゃないですか。私なら1500秒で聡子を救える。お姉の力なんか借りられなくてもいい。死体なんか私が引きずって鬼ヶ淵の沼にでも放り込んでやる。ほら提案してくださいよ。これより早くてすぐに聡子を救える方法を。
だからそうじゃないの。一人で悩んだらそんなことしか考えられないの。ならはっきり言ってあげるよ。
I feel like we're going downhill here.
1500秒かかりすぎでしょ、そんなの。私なら1000秒かけないよ。しーちゃんなんかみたいにぐちぐち言わずに黙って教室を出て行ってもう実行してるよ。なんでそうしな
I
いと
can
思う
understand
の？
why Rika is just sitting in the corner dead.
昔誰かに教えられたことがあるの。たとえそれしか方法がなかったとしても殺人に訴えるのはいけないこと、正しいことじゃない、最善手なんかじゃないの。それしかないと思ってしまうことが一人で悩むことの限界なの。
Long time ago. I don't know who told me this. Someone taught it to me. If there's something that troubles you, you can't think about it all on your own. You can think of your own solution, the best way to conclude things.
みんなで考える、みんなで悩む。確かに今この瞬間はしーちゃんの短絡的な提案に対する提案をできないけど、私たちがみんなで考えれば絶対にそれよりいい解決策が見つけられるよ。
いいとか悪いとかの問題じゃないです。1分1秒でも無駄な時間を費やせば聡子がどんな乱暴されるか考えればいいじゃないですか。北条って姓がそんなに憎らしい。サトシ君や聡子がどんなに辛くても誰も手を差し伸べないの。私が助ける。ご託なんてもうたくさん。そこをどいてよ。そこまで言うなら今から行ってくる。あいつをサクッと殺して聡子を助け出してくる。
ダメだよしーちゃん、しーちゃん。
お前たちは呪ってろ。自分たちの無力さをいつまでも。そしてより集まって思いつきもしない妙案を議論し合えばいい。 そうして聡子のために何かしているという免罪符を得ながら聡子を看板に見殺しにしていけばいい。あんたたちは誰も聡子のことを大事に思ってないんだ。聡子のことなんか遊び友達だとしか思ってないんだ。私は違う。聡子は友達以上家族だとすら思ってる。あんたたちとは聡子を大事に思う心が違うの。じゃあね、殺してくるね。さようなら。
待ちな。
何を邪魔する気ですか？
シオン、お前レナの言ったことが半分も理解できてねえだろ。
Keiichi, is it time to lock the fuck in?
半分どころかお釣りが来るくらいに理解してますよ。殺しをするほんのちょっとの度胸があればすぐに救えるのに、
Use that
それを
charisma
きれい
stat
事
for
でごまか
something.
す偽善の話ですよね。
シオン、お前が人殺しをしてまで聡子を救ったとして聡子は感謝すると思ってるのか？
感謝が欲しいわけじゃないです。別に私は差し違えてもいい。それで聡子が幸せになれるなら本望なんですから。
違うな。口先の威勢はなかなかいいが、お前には差し違える度胸なんかありゃしねえな。その証拠にお前はさっきミオンに死体を隠すのを頼みたいようなことを言ったじゃねえか。それはつまり差し違えたくない、叔父をぶっ殺した後元の平穏な生活に戻りたいって願望の表れじゃねえか。お前が本当に望んでいる世界はついこの間までの世界、俺たちみんなが仲良く楽しく過ごしていたあの世界への回帰なんだ。だがな、お前が殺人を犯せば絶対にその世界へは戻れない。そうそう簡単に完全犯罪なんかができると思うなよ。お前は絶対に逮捕される。
それくらい覚悟の上です。聡子の苦しみを私が懲役で変われるなら本望です。
違うな違うな、絶対にそれは違うな。お前は自分を呪うぜ。かけてもいい。どうして自分が殺人なんて貧乏くじを引かなくちゃならなかったのか未練がましく自分を呪うんだ。そしてその時になってようやくシオンが本当に求めていたことに気がつくんだよ。それは叔父を殺すことじゃない、みんなと元の世界に戻ることだ。そしてそれは殺人を犯すことで台無しになってしまうんだよ。そしてお前が自分を呪うように聡子も自分を呪うだろうな。自分が原因でシオンが殺人を犯す羽目になったとずっと後悔すると思う。第一、お前がいなくなったら誰が聡子にカボチャを食わせるんだよ。誰が聡子と陰険なトラップの相談をするんだよ。お前だろ。園崎シオンだろ。お前が本当に目指す世界にはお前が聡子の脇にいなければダメなんだよ。そこを間違えるな。聡子のためだと錯覚して自ら取り返しのつかない間違いを犯すんじゃない。
そこまで言うならケイちゃんは聡子を救う方法を何か提案できるんですか？できないでしょ。口先だけの綺麗事で私の邪魔立てをするな。だからそこをどいて殺す。私が今から殺しに行く。
She blocked her way, and luckily that one kid who fucking hates his class is having the best day of his life right now. He's like, yes.
Finally, these fuckers get what they deserve.
She just said that
シオンを生かせるわけにはいかねえな。俺たちの望む世界はシオンが欠けたら成立しない。だから俺はお前を生かさないぞ。
ほう、そうですか。ならケイちゃんは北条哲平をかばってるってわけですね。なら同罪だ。お前から先に頭を叩き割ってやる。
Is there anyone else in this?
ちょっと
Not the chair!
バカシオン
Not the chair!
やめなよ。
And here comes
Shion
with the steel chair!
その椅子をどうするつもりですか？やめなさい。
You gotta do that too, Shion.
椅子を床に置きなさい。ケイちゃんがこの後に及んでまだ私が本気だって分かってないならマジで血見ます。謝んなくていいですからとっととどきやがれってんです。
シオン、
Not
確かに今この
Lunar
瞬間
got a remaster
俺はよりい
collection
い
on
提案をできない。でもそれは今思いついてないだけのことだ。俺たちはきっとサトコを助けるもっとマシな方法を考え出す。絶対にだ。絶対に俺たちがサトコを救う。だからな、
Why the
信じろ
fuck is this $50?
仲間を。
仲間であるサトコのために手を汚さない連中にサトコを仲間呼ばわりされたくないです。もう一度は言わない。そこをどきやがれ。
シオンこそ頭を冷やして考え直せ。俺たちはきっとサトコを救える。それを信じろ。だから短絡的な考えに走るんじゃない。仲間を信じろ。仲間呼ばわりされたくないってんなら俺を信じろ。前原圭一が必ずサトコを救う。だからそいつにかけてみろ。
黙れ無力。お前なんか信じられるか。お前にどうやってサトコが救えるというのか。シオン。
Why are you shouting so much?
She went through the chair, Keiichi. Hit him hard and the chair fell on the floor with a loud noise. But Keiichi was unfazed even after being struck. He just stood in front of the exit without even covering his face.
The fuck? Just took a tear to the face, yeah.
He wasn't unfazed. A fail of blood flowing from his forehead where the corner of the chair hurt him.
答えねえな。その程度で俺が道を譲ると思ったかよ。殺されたって俺はここをどかねえぞ。お前を生かせればシオンのいない世界になる。その世界ではいなくなったお前のことをずっと思って毎日うつむいているサトコがいるんだ。俺たちがどうやって慰めてもその場だけは元気そうにするがすぐにまたうつむいてしまう。そんな悲しい世界があるんだ。俺はサトコにそんな悲しい世界を見せたくない。俺たちが描く世界は昨日までがそうだったようにみんなで楽しく過ごして暴れて遊べるあの世界だ。もちろんおじの野郎なんかに二度とサトコを泣かすような真似はさせない。それがどういう方法なのか今この場では確かに思いついていない。でもそれは絶対に思いつく。絶対だ。だから俺を信じろ。
Jill wasn't yet convinced, but even so she walked to the window and took her seat. Someone rested a hand on Keiichi's shoulders. It was the principal. He'd been standing there and listening to him for a while.
校長先生。
よく耐えた。千恵先生、一部始終は聞かせてもらいましたぞ。
Kinda hard not to hear.
私が至らぬばかりに申し訳ありません。
昨日の今日の出来事ではあるが、わしももはや猶予のならない事態だと思っておる。しかるべきところへすぐに連絡するべきであろう。
でも校長先生、児童相談所には過去にも相談したことがあって。どうせ助けてなんかくれませんよ。他力本願もいいとこです。
She raised her voice. The principal looked at Shion and started talking.
園崎シオン君、私は言葉の中で最も憎むべきものがあるのを知っている。それが何かわかるかね。今君が言ったどうせという言葉だ。どうせという言葉は戦いもせず負けを認める最も醜い言葉だ。その言葉を口にした時すでに戦いには負けておるのである。
私も校長先生の意見に賛成。どんな策があるにせよ頼るべき順序があると思うの。児童相談所に相談するのは多分一番最初にするべきことなんだと思う。それでダメなら2番目の手3番目の手を考えればいい。試しもしないうちから諦めるのは私は見殺しにするのと何も変わらないと思うから。
校長、もちろん通報するからには絶対サトコを助けてもらえるように言い含めてくれるんですよね。
無論だ。北条君はわしの可愛い教え子である。きっと助けてもらえるよう
わしにできる最善を尽くす。
児童相談所は迅速ですから、今から通報すればきっと今夜にはもう動いてくれるでしょう。
それで聡子が救われればいいんだけど、もしもまた様子見なんてことになったら。
それがダメだったら次の手を考えようよ。私たちが諦めない限り絶対に聡子ちゃんを救えるんだから。
いつまでも綺麗事を言っててください。そうしてのんびりしてるうちに聡子は癒しようのない心の傷を負うんです。見殺しにしてるのはどっちなんですよ。
シオン、俺はさっき約束したからな。俺たちは絶対に聡子を救う。それもお前みたいに差し違えてでもなんて話じゃない。聡子が本当に幸せになれるような最高の形で救い出してみせる。見てろ、絶対だからな。前原圭一が絶対と言ったらそれは絶対なんだ。
She can stare out the window without looking at Keiichi's face.
園崎家の方で児童相談所がどういう判断を下すか確認するよ。分かったらみんなに電話するよ。
それで無事保護されることに決まれば最高だからな。
もちろん楽観はできないね。様子見になる可能性が一番高いね。そうなったらどうする？
その時はくそ。
知恵先生、職員室に行きましょうぞ。早速電話をしましょ
ええ、よく説明しないといけません。
There's a classroom. Keiichi and Mion got together and discussed their options. Shion's looking down, crying. Rika was just vaguely looking at them and staring at a boring TV drama. Nothing will change. The Child Consultation Center will put her case on hold. I've seen it so many times in previous lives. Let's hope they'll take her into custody just this once. But I have no more coins left to gamble on a hope like that.
She's broke.
During his life, Keiichi killed Satoko's uncle, but Shion was not there when that happened. When she is, I suppose she's the one who takes on that role. Your parasitic host will be crushed by tomorrow morning. The social worker will be at her house tonight, but Satoko will deny she's being abused. Her uncle will assume that she was the one who called the service, and he'll abuse her even more. She will come to school tomorrow because he doesn't want the Child Consultation Center to be suspicious of him. We will feel more and more hopeless when we see her dead look in Satoko's eyes. I've been living for more than 100 years, but I never defeated this fate. The fate of her uncle's return. I was blessed with so much luck, and I thought I could defeat it this time. But in the end, it all came down to the same thing. It was a waste of energy to put in any effort. It was all worthless, all worthless. The more I thought about this escapable fate, the more I pitied these people talking endlessly about how they're going to save Satoko. Wet blanket. Living without hope. I shouldn't have been bothered in the first place.
You know, Rika, you're kind of a bummer.
Shut up. I was being quiet this episode because I was serious. I was very engaged. You're making me laugh. How dare you. Turns out Hinazawa escaped some trouble. You have to stay here for the rest of the summer, perhaps the whole year, to see what happened. For him, the house in Hinazawa was like a rather dull hiding place. Why do you have to hide? Wouldn't that be the first place they check? His love arena has suddenly disappeared. Rumors told us she was involved with some dangerous deal. Some sources even said that she already had been caught and killed. And everyone who knew was aware Rina was living with him. Everyone also assumed that he knew everything about what Rina did. They were convinced that he got money by tricking her into doing something. As a result, something dangerous men came after him. That made it difficult for him to stay in Okonomiya. More than anything, pissed him off to find out Rina was cooking something behind his back with some other guys. Minazawa was about the only place he could go. He couldn't go back to the house where he used to live with his wife, and he had been since moved into Satoko's house. Besides, he didn't have the key to his old place. But if he went to Satoko's house, she should still be there and she'd clean and cook for him too. Tepe didn't know how to cook and clean, and certainly wasn't thinking about learning. He didn't been rebellious towards Tepe. He'd often said he wanted to be someone more loyal, like a pet. For Tepe, Satoko was exactly what he wanted. Satoko is still a little kid. She can't satisfy him sexually, but at least can make her wash his Phil's dead mother used to be a pretty woman. So I'm gonna grow up to be a pretty lady yourself and about to hit after Himizawa with those decent thoughts in his head. The house was locked, so he assumed that he was in the market for grocery shopping. He found her at the store and dragged her back home. However, this house was full of dust. She'd been living in her friend's house for the past year, and the house had been abandoned. Tepe exploded in anger. He told her that it was her responsibility to keep the old house in order. Beat her and kicked her down to the floor. Eventually, Satoko's question returned to what he remembered from 1982. So started obeying him immediately and cleaned up the house. New place to hide with a new girl. His new life was starting out pretty good. Tepe called out his buddy to show off his new beginnings and had played mahjong with them. Right away, his new pet and made him serve them food and drinks. He told her to walk on all fours like a real pet. He was obeyed immediately when she tried to hit her. Once laughing, they were all jealous of him. Tepe felt really good about himself. However, someone had a right to interrupt his perfect life.
私、ひなみ沢文庫教諭の千恵と申します。北条聡子さんはいらっしゃいますか?
It's not someone was in the store trying to sell an insurance or something. A school teacher.
ああ、なんじゃよ踊れ。なんで踊れに里子合わせにはならんね。
今日、北条さんが学校をお休みしましたけれど、連絡がなかったもので、何かあったのかと思いお伺いさせていただきました。
学校？
はい、聡子ちゃんはいますか？ちょっとお話ししたいことがあるのですが。
ああ、風な。
プリントとかを割って。
Yes. We just saw that conversation. I mean, Naruto style flashback. It's going to cause him problems, Tepe realized. Satoko was the best for him, but no one insisted on to school. Her teacher showed up at his house because she missed one day. That wasn't good. Tepe hates schools. He really hates teachers.
そうですか。
知るか。
では失礼します。
He was able to get rid of the teacher, but it would create more problems if they didn't send Satoko to school tomorrow. Tepe didn't need more trouble on his plate. I mean, he couldn't beat up Satoko like he wanted to. Violence is the only way he knew how to communicate. Without the picture, it was very difficult for him. He wanted to beat up Satoko without leaving evidence on her body. That meant he wouldn't be able to send her to school. And if she didn't go to school, the teacher would show up at his doorstep again. Shit. Talking about that, the child consultation center paid a visit to his house that night. The teacher must have filed a report. That bitch, Tepe thought. Next, I'll beat her in the face so hard she'd need plastic surgery. I was afraid of him. She pretended she really was sick when the social worker visited. It was easy for Tepe to control her. You consider Satoko to be a convenient pet. At the same time, you need to be careful at the consultation center. Okay, now just leave. I'm like, alright, bye. Let's leave. Let's go. Let's go.
See you. Go on.
Get out. Get out of Himizawa. Griffin, hit the button.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Get out! Get out!
Okay.
Get out!
Hey, dang.
Until next time. Have a gay all time, y'all.
Get out!
What he said.